Hello, and welcome back to We the People Naturalizing Naturalization. I'm your host, Ishika Muchhal, and in this third episode, we will be discussing some rights and responsibilities of US citizens and residents, as well as some key dates, symbols, and how you can participate in democracy. All key parts of the US Citizenship Test. Remember, even if you're not studying for the test, you can easily use these videos to learn a little bit more about what makes the US the US. And I apologize for this pesky fly that keeps on flying all over this room. Okay, so if you haven't seen the first two episodes, I'm gonna put a link up on the board where you can find the playlist that contains all the videos as well as the ones before and the ones that will be uploaded soon. I'm getting on it. Why don't we jump in? I'm going to divide this board into a chart so that it makes a little bit more sense. Okay, let's start with the rights section. For US citizens, they have two rights: the right to vote and the right to run for a federal office. For US residents overall, they have two rights as well. The right to the 5 freedoms mentioned in the First Amendment, which were, if you'll recall, the freedom of speech, press, petition, assembly, and religion. They also have the right to bear arms, which was from the Second Amendment. And remember, if you need any refreshing on the amendments, check the video before. Episode 2. Okay, so one clarification I'd like to make before I go on is that whatever applies to the US citizens only applies to the US citizens. But whatever applies to US residents as a whole also applies to US citizens because US citizens are US residents generally. Alright, let's get to the responsibilities section. So for US citizens, they are responsible for voting and for serving on jury. For US residents, their responsibility is to fill out their taxes and send in their taxes, which, this is one of the questions on the test, so remember this, April 15th is tax day, which I'm sure most of you know, but just a reminder. Okay, so now that we've finished with rights and responsibilities, let's move on to some key dates and symbols. Okay, key dates and symbols. Let's start with the American flag. The American flag that we see here has 13 stripes, and those 13 stripes represent the 13 original colonies. And I will explain more about the 13 colonies and how they came to be in the next episode, dealing with US history. The flag also has 50 stars. The 50 stars, each star represents one US state, so all 50 US states. This does not include the territories. There are territories, but I'll get into that in the geography episode, which is the final one. So the flag is called the Star-Spangled Banner, and that is also the name of the national anthem, which you often hear at like football games or lots of games and lots of places. And if you've been to school in America, you might know this, that we say the Pledge of Allegiance to the flag, which is like promising our loyalty to the flag and to the country. The flag is symbolic for the country. Okay, so that's the American flag. Know those details for the test. Okay. One really important date, and I'll get into a few more. July 4th, remember that date. That is Independence Day in America. July 4th, 1776 was the day that the Founding Fathers wrote the Declaration of Independence, officially saying that they were free from Great Britain. So that is why it is called Independence Day. You are also required for the test to know at least 2 US federal holidays. Federal holidays are any holidays that are officially recognized by the government, and usually you have the day off of school or work. So here is a list of some of them. There's Christmas, Thanksgiving, Veterans Day, Labor Day, Columbus Day, which in some places is now called Indigenous People Day, Memorial Day, President's Day, New Year's Day, and Martin Luther King Jr. Day. So those are the federal holidays. All right, let's move on to how you can participate in democracy. So there's a couple key ways that you can participate in your democracy. First off, and most importantly, I know you're probably tired of hearing me say this, but it is so important. Like, it makes me want to just make a video on how important and how much your vote matters. The first way is to vote. To vote, 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 period. Go vote. Anyway, also, other ways that you can participate in your democracy are you can join a political party. You can help with a campaign. You can join a civic group. You can join a community group. You can pick up your phone or write an email and communicate with your senator or representative about where you stand about a certain policy or issue. Another way of participating in democracy is publicly supporting or opposing a policy. You can also write to a newspaper. Also, you can run for federal office. So those are some of the ways that you can participate in democracy, which is essential to making the country as we know it run. Okay, I think that about covers everything for this episode. So, thank you so much for joining me, and stay tuned for the next episode. Make sure to press that thumbs up button to like this video and share this video with anyone you know who is either studying for the US Citizenship Test or just wants to know a little bit more about the US and what makes the US the US. I should trademark that phrase, I use it a lot. Anyway, here is a link to the previous video and overall like a playlist of all of the videos that I'm making in this series. Make sure to subscribe so you get updated about when I make new videos and turn on your notifications. And thank you for joining me. I will see you in the next episode. Stay safe.